We know this resource is crucial to Timor-Leste's development. As is apparent, the development of this resource will deliver significant benefit to Timor-Leste.
We look forward to continue the important discussions regarding the successful development of Greater Sunrise, as Minister Bishop alluded us to.
Let's get more on this now with Steve Keen. He's an economics professor at the UK's Kingston University, and he joins us from Brussels. Hello, Steve. Welcome back to Money Talks. Great to have you, as always. What is the significance of this deal between Australia and East Timor for both sides, and why has it taken so long to achieve?
Well, it's very significant because Australia's treatment of East Timor has been quite reprehensible for its entire history ever since 1975, when Australia effectively gave a green light to Indonesia to invade the country, and led to quite brutal treatment for a period until finally the Indonesians withdrew around 1999. The East Timorese got independence. But in the middle of between East Timor and Australia, which is a distance less than from Brussels to Amsterdam, it's about less than 200 kilometres, there's an enormous oil field. And rather than saying, well, you're the poor country, we're the rich one, you have access to the oil field, Australia's seen a bucket of money where there's a bucket of oil and has used brute force, the sheer size of the continent and its advantage, and tried to muscle the East Timorese into a very poor deal and compensate by giving them aid, which is extremely insulting and degrading. And what has happened here, I think, is the international court has shown that it can work and level the playing field between a large country which is being a bully and a small country being bullied. I think it's a great outcome, and finally Australia's been forced to do something legitimate and reasonable towards its small neighbour.
Having said all of that, what challenges is East Timor going to face in developing all of that energy?
Well, it's going to face a huge challenge, of course, because there is no industrial base in East Timor. They're going to have to import the know-how. They're going to have to rely upon foreign companies to construct everything for them. And the danger they face is they could go the same way as Nauru, which, of course, had a tremendous deposit of phosphate, courtesy of large numbers of birds over a large period of time, and which then made a set of investments out of the profits of that phosphate mining, which failed, and now Nauru is quite poor. So what East Timor has to do is to ensure it can build up a large reserve of money out of that it makes into a sensibly well-managed sovereign wealth fund, and it has to try as much as it can to build the industrial and technical skills of its own people on the backbone of having an oil industry, which of course involves a large amount of industrialisation.
I'm glad you brought up the issue of Nauru, famous for its apparently, apocryphally, parked Ferraris rusting on sidewalks. But how concerned are you that East Timor is going to fall into this resource trap? It's been extracting some oil and gas since 2004 from some of the fields around it. But are there any signs that it is ready to diversify?
I think the fact that they had the Portuguese period they had gave them some level of administration control that might avoid what happened with Nauru, which didn't have any decent history like that whatsoever. And you have quite an educated middle class and up and higher class in East Timor. I've had personal friends amongst them. So I'm hoping that they will see the need to make sure they capture as much as they can of that revenue and use the need for the technical skills that are required to run a large-scale oil field to build up their talents that way.
Professor Steve Keen of Kingston University, thank you very much indeed.